What's poppin' world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you like Substance, go ahead and follow, go ahead and subscribe. You already know what to do. Let's get into this. So today, I just want to have a raw conversation about everything that's going on. People point fingers at the government, changes people want to be made, this DEI stuff. Let's talk about a little bit of everything, right? Let's jump into it, right? Let's jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and start by making a profound statement. If you want to change the status of the community or the culture or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to begin by changing the mindset and the hearts of the people. That's where you start at. It doesn't start with the government. If you want to change the status of a community or the culture, you're going to have to start by redirecting people away from the negativity and again, pointing them towards some positivity. Let me just put it that way, right? Let me just put it that way. So, when it comes to the community, a lot of people want to see these changes. They want to see more money pour into the community, more money be poured into the culture. They want to see more fairness, so to speak, when it comes to hiring or education or salaries and just all these different categories, right? And the thing about it is this: the state of the community and the culture is the way it is because of the mindset and the hearts of the people. A lot of people lean into negativity before they do positivity, right? Let's just be honest. People are more into the drama, the fighting, the exploiting the men, exploiting the women, the music, the TV shows, right? Social media, all the negativity, right? The flashiness. I'm doing better than you. My foot's on top of your head. People are into those types of things. And a lot of that's going to have to change if we want to, advance within the community or the culture, right? People are into hating on each other. People have a crab in a bucket mentality mindset. They move that way. You have to work on those things first. Spirituality. You got a lot of people who don't trust in God, believe in God, follow God. A lot of people push that off to the side. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these things are heart issues. The majority of them are heart issues. So again, until you tap into that, things ain't gonna change. People are not smart with their money. You got a lot of people who cannot pay their bills because of bad decisions. You have people who can't stay out of jail because of bad decisions. They can't stay out of the hospital because of bad decisions. You got people who are not properly raising their children, right? You have a lot to unpack before you even look at the government. You have to change the mindsets of the people. You got to redirect them. If you log into your Facebook or whatever app you use, a lot of times you're going to see negativity. And that's what people cling to. That's what get the views. That's what get the likes. That's what people going to cling to. And you got to change that first before you start pointing at the government. It's 2025. You have successful people in every race. There's no excuse as to why you aren't successful in one way or another. There's no excuse. You can't point the finger, oh, they're holding me down. No, that's an excuse you're using, right? So a lot of the work has to take place within. But first and foremost, you need to build a relationship with God and build a fear of God. So a lot of your decisions will be redirected. And you should also formulate a love for others, right? Learn how to properly love others, right? All these things have to happen if you want things to change within the culture, within the community. A lot of people want to, boycott and protest and stop spending their money for one day with certain companies, right? To show how important their dollar is, right? And this is something that they're using to come against the removal of the DEI thing, right? So they want to stop spending their money at these stores, these businesses, these companies for a day. Okay, what's your end game? What's your goal? What do you want to come out of that, right? So you might say, well, we show them for one day how much money, they'll lose if we step away from them. Then, they may change it, turn it around. Well, if that's your thought process, you're gonna have to make this make sense. So okay, cool, you're gonna do that. Boom. Let's just say they say, "Wow, man, we lost billions of dollars." Yeah, okay, what how should they go about changing, right? Because these companies do employ people of all shapes, forms, sizes, all colors. They already employ those types of people. You see what I'm saying? It's not like they're leaning heavily towards one group and not the other, and you trying to get them to change. No, they already employ people of all walks of life. Let's just say they already employ that people. So if you stop buying from them, wouldn't you then be hurting the people that are already on their staffs that are making money or making a living off of that job? Wouldn't you be hurting them if you stop supporting them? See, you got to think this stuff through. When you be hurting young people who you wanting to fight for, because they already in the building at this point. Them changing that, the DEI thing, that's in the future. And another thing, all that means is we're gonna hire the best person possible. We're gonna hire the best person available. I think all companies should do that. Take the best person available. We're in 2025. These companies and their owners and their supervisors and the people who are in charge of the hiring process at this point are aware that people of all races, shapes and sizes, color, all that good stuff, there are people who do well in all of those groups. They're aware of that now. See, if this was 100 years ago, I can see you saying, "Well, no, they don't know because they never gave us a chance." Well, at this point, they're aware. Okay, there are good people, good workers on all sides, right? From all walks of life, all types of people, whatever. We can use different people for different things, right? So at this point, you don't need it. You don't need it for the most part. Now, I'm not saying it's not helpful, right? So don't twist my words. I'm not saying it's not helpful. But at this point, let the chips fall where they may. If somebody doesn't want you, don't want to hire you, don't want to be around you, keep it moving. Me personally, I don't want to work for nobody who don't want me. I don't want to work for nobody who don't want me. It's just keeping it real. And I won't get into all the logistics behind why they took it away and I won't get into all of that in this video. But the point is, boycotting it for one day, what's the end game? You're bringing awareness, right? And the thing about that too is a lot of women lead those groups that be doing stuff like that. This isn't heavily supported by men. Why is that? Why aren't the men standing behind y'all when y'all come up with some of these movements? I think that's something y'all need to think about. But that's a whole nother conversation. But at the end of the day, the community, the culture, the only way it's going to change is not by pouring more money. See, some people think money is the answer. Give these people more money. Let these people work some of these jobs. Let these people go to some of these schools for free, right? People think that's the answer. And honestly, it's just simply not. There's a small percentage of people who would take advantage of those opportunities. There's a small percentage of people I'm talking within the culture, within the community, who will take those funds if they received funds and use them properly. Small percentage. Majority of the people who would properly use the money if there was extra money given or sent or use these opportunities, whether it be the job or the education or whatever the case may be. These are people who are already striving and properly using the money and properly using the education and things of that nature. So they wouldn't need anything extra from the government in particular, because 90% of life is based off of personal responsibility. Only 10% is things you can't control. Only 10%. So with that being said, the people who would be striving and doing this, doing that, they're leaning in deeply into that personal responsibility, and they're doing what they got to do. And they're striving out here. It's a lot of people striving, including, I'm talking black people, including black people, right? They're in that group too, doing great, doing well, doing excellent. And guess what? A lot of them have drawn a line in the sand, and it's a lot of people who they don't deal with who look like them, right? A lot of time these issues are class issues. They're not. It's not just a black and white thing. A lot of these issues are class issues, right? Or the division is within the classes, right? The division is within the classes, right? So that's just something to think about. Stop pointing the finger at the government and all of that. Hey, the chips gonna fall where they may. Everything that's going on, if it's something that you feel is, putting fear in your heart, or it's a major concern for you, whatever the case may be, that should draw you closer to God. Whatever that thing is, it should draw you closer to God. It is what it is. If you're affected in any way, maybe it ain't meant to be. You got to redirect. But the only way we're going to get the community, the culture, all that good stuff going in the right direction is if we redirect them from the negativity and get them chasing after the positivity. Me personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to just be honest with you. I do not think that's going to happen. So it is what it is. So those of us who are going in a certain direction, we will have to draw a line in the sand, and we will have to learn how to love from a distance. We will have to learn how to love from a distance. Now, if the individuals who are going in, let's just say, the wrong direction want that help, sure, we should lend that hand out, right? We should guide and direct and teach and do all that good stuff and love on them, right? Because I love everybody. We should do those things. But outside of that, draw a line in the sand. Let them die together. Let them fall together, if that's what they're focused on. But it's not going to be the government dropping this in the bank account, doing this, doing that. Majority of the people who aren't going in the right direction, they're going to continue to not go in the right direction. That's just the way life is. They think it's going to be a quick fix. If this change, if that change, it ain't. I'm going to just be honest with you. The change is going to have to happen in the mind and in the hearts and in the spirit, right? They're going to have to find God, chase God. If you somebody watching and you like, man, I'm interested, I would say this, find you a church, find you a mixed church, preferably a mixed church if you can. Take culture out of it. You want to learn about God. You want to learn about the stories in the Bible. You want to get to know who God is. You want to learn his principles. You want to learn his mindset on things. That's what you want to do. Form your own personal relationship with God. Take culture out of it. That has ruined a lot of churches, especially in the black community. Yeah, take culture out of it. But anywho, that's all I got for this video. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We're growing fast. You got something to say, leave it in the comment section. I may have left something out. Another thing, I love you all. And keep God first. Y'all be blessed.